Temperatures that are only dropping a few more degrees. So a lot of us are going to find our lows in the teens tonight before tomorrow we finally have 30s returning to your forecast. So we're going to have dry skies tomorrow, same thing on Tuesday. We're actually in the 40s come Thursday, so a really big warming trend, but it's coming along with rain, another strong cold front. That's going to usher in cooler conditions by Friday. But it's not going to stay that way into the weekend. I'll have your full forecast coming up. All right. We're going to be warming up, which is some good news for us. But keep in mind, average for this time of the year is 36 degrees. That's way warmer than where we have been recently. But that's about where we're headed tomorrow. Same thing on Wednesday. By Thursday, we're actually counting on temperatures that are going to be about 10 degrees warmer than average. And that's going to put us in the mid-40s, but it will be coming along with rain, a very strong cold front, and then temperatures are going back down into the 20s by Friday, but it's a very brief cool down. Notice going into Saturday, we're right back up to the 40s again, so we actually have a fairly decent weekend ahead of us. Your temperatures right now, many of us are sitting in the low 20s. We have southwesterly winds that for a lot of us are between 5 and 15 miles per hour. It's enough to make a big difference to the wind chill, though. Wind chill temperatures for a lot of us are sitting in the single digits to lower teens. Next 48 hours around here, temperatures tonight dropping down into the teens. And then tomorrow, things look pretty decent. We're going to end up seeing quite a bit of sunshine. We'll have high temperatures in the mid-30s. And then going along into Wednesday, notice how temperatures not going to take much of a hit Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So we're only going down into the low 30s. And then we're going to be in the mid to upper 30s by Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, Emily.
Into the 20s. So it was kind of our transition day. Then tomorrow we're going to be in the 30s. 40s are expected by Thursday. So a really big warming trend is on tap for this week. Your wind chill temps right now, still very cold. A lot of us feeling like 10 to 15 degrees above zero, down to 8 degrees is what it's feeling like in Merrillville. Your forecast low temperatures tonight, we're going to be dropping down into the teens for most areas, but we could potentially hold on to about 20 degrees at the lakefront in Chicago. Your out the door forecast for tomorrow, waking up in the teens. We will see some sunshine. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s by about 10 a.m. And then eventually tomorrow, we're warming up into the 30s, mid-30s expected for Tuesday. So very seasonable conditions expected Tuesday. Same thing on Wednesday. By Thursday, we're running about 10 degrees above average. That's going to bring us with some rain. A cold front comes through. So the 40s are only here for a day. 20s are going to return by Friday. That forecast coming up.
All right.
Down into the 20s, but it's going to be very short-lived. Take a look at your temperature outlook. This is from the 21st through the 25th, of course, leading us right on into the Christmas holiday. And we are favored to see warmer than average temperatures. So we're seeing this pattern flip-flop beginning to take place here in the next couple of days. There's going to be some fluctuations where we have some cooler than average days, but overall, the trend is going to be for warmer days ahead. Futurecast taking us throughout this evening and tonight. We're going to be mostly clear to partly cloudy. Cold tonight, too. We have temperatures dropping down into the teens. Typically for this time of the year, your average lows are still in the 20s. And then through the day tomorrow, things look pretty good. Cold front's going to come through on Wednesday, but it's not really going to do too much to our temperatures. Again, temps over the next couple of days, we're going to be in the 30s on Tuesday and Wednesday. By Thursday, we're expected to be in the 40s. It's not until that really strong cold front Thursday night that we're going to see those temperatures dipping down into about 10 degrees for your overnight low, and then eventually highs only in the 20s for Friday. Your 7-day forecast tomorrow, 35, 38, partly cloudy on Wednesday. Thursday, we have rain, possibly a couple snow showers at night as temperatures take a really big hit overnight. We're in the 20s on Friday, dry skies this weekend. So if you have holiday shopping that you need to wrap up, it's going to be a good weekend for it. Low 40s on Saturday, low 30s expected on Sunday. We'll be right back. Then where we spent our Saturday and Sunday. If you think back to yesterday, we only saw a high that was in the single digits for several locations outside of the city, but in the city of Chicago, we made it to about 10 degrees. Today, we're running in the 20s, still below average, but moving in the right direction. Wind chill temperatures right now are in the teens for most areas. We are in the single digits in places like Valparaiso. Same thing in Michigan City. It's feeling like 8 degrees and 6 degrees respectively there. 8 degrees is what it's feeling like now in Waukegan, 15 at O'Hare. Your forecast low temperatures tonight. We're dropping down into the teens, so we're not going to see a huge drop in temperatures tonight. But we are in for a pretty decent warm-up tomorrow. Your 5-day forecast, we're in the mid to upper 30s, which, by the way, that's where we should be for this time of December. So seasonable conditions on Tuesday and Wednesday. By Thursday, we're running about 10 degrees above average, but a strong cold front's going to come through, sending temps tumbling going into your Friday. Those details. Sub-zero wind chills. Actually, today we are finally seeing above zero wind chills. Right now, it's feeling more like the teens. And looking ahead this week, we're going to be warm enough, not for snow, but actually for rain that's going to be moving in on Thursday. So your temperatures are going to warm up in a really big way here over the next couple of days. We're in the 30s Tuesday and Wednesday, but then jumping to the 40s for highs on Thursday when our next storm system is going to come through. Your high temperatures today, we ended up topping out in the lower 20s, which, by the way, is still quite a ways below average for this time of the year. Your average sits right around 36 degrees now. Looking ahead to tomorrow and Wednesday, we're fairly seasonable. So again, where we should be. And then we're jumping to the 40s on Thursday, Friday. Brief cool down, setting us back into the 20s, but only for a day. It's going to be a very quick cool down going into this upcoming weekend. It actually looks really pleasant. If you have last minute holiday shopping that you need to get taken care of this weekend, it's looking much nicer than the weekend that we just got through. So we're going to be in the low 40s for your highs on Saturday. By Sunday, a little bit cooler, dropping back down to the low 30s, but still, again, way more pleasant than what we just went through. Your temperature outlook, this is from the 21st through the 25th. So, of course, taking us right on into that Christmas holiday. And we're trending above average. So we're starting to see this pattern flip-flop that we've been talking about really the entire month of December. It looked like the first half of December was going to be well below average, and that's what we've been dealing with. But then later this month, we're going to start to see those warmer than average temperatures beginning to take hold. Satellite and radar, things are quiet for now. We have mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions overhead, and that's going to be the story through the overnight. Temperatures tonight dropping down into the teens. So tomorrow morning, it's still going to be a cold start to the day. We'll have wind chill temperatures likely in the single digits, and then taking us through the day, things look fine. We're warming up into the mid-30s. A weak little system's going to pass on by, trying to bring us a little bit of precipitation. I'm not overly concerned about that. And then same thing on Wednesday, things look pretty good. We'll get back to seeing partly cloudy skies. Temps are going to be in the mid to upper 30s. And then come Thursday, that's when we start to see that next push of rain. And then that rain is going to likely transition over into snow shower activity following that really strong cold front. For tonight, 15 degrees for your overnight low, 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, 35, 38, partly cloudy on Wednesday. Thursday, we have mainly rain, but then transitioning over to snow showers Thursday night into early morning Friday. Friday, dry skies, 26 degrees, 42 over the weekend, dropping to 30s early next week. Back to you. Are actually in your forecast going into Thursday. Now it's going to be short-lived on Thursday. We have another cooling trend that's going to be here just for Friday, but your weekend ahead, it looks way better than the weekend that we just had. Your wind chill temperatures currently, a lot of us are feeling like 10 to 15 degrees above zero, but down to the single digits is what it's feeling like in Waukegan. Same thing in Valparaiso, as well as Michigan City. Actual air temperatures tonight going to be dipping down into the teens, which is actually only a few degrees off from where we are right now. Temperatures currently are sitting in the low 20s, so we're only dropping by about 5-6 degrees for a lot of locations. And then tomorrow, this is your out the door forecast for Tuesday. So waking up in the teens, we're in the low 20s by 8, upper 20s by 10, so a pretty decent warming trend throughout the morning hours, and skies are going to be partly cloudy. So we'll enjoy some sunshine tomorrow, 35 degrees for your high on Tuesday, 38 on Wednesday, which, by the way, is very close to where we should be for this time of December. And then on Thursday, it's up to the 40s. Unfortunately, it's coming along with rain, and then that rain could be transitioning over to some snow shower activity Thursday night into early Friday. Back to you. The single digits in a couple spots, but most of us feeling like the teens, about 10 to 15 degrees is where our wind chills stand currently. But here's where we're headed, mid to upper 30s Tuesday and Wednesday. By Thursday, we're going to be in the mid 40s, but a cold front comes through, sending us back down to the 20s by Friday. And then on Saturday, we're in the 40s again. So if you still have some holiday shopping, maybe you need to do some last minute running around this weekend, things look really nice, way nicer than the weekend that we just went through. Your temperatures in the next several days, so going into next week for the holiday itself, from the 21st through the 25th, we're favored to see warmer than average conditions. So really all month long, we've been talking about this pattern flip-flop that's likely going to occur for the second portion of the month of December. We're starting to see that taking shape this week, and we're going to keep it going into next week as well. Satellite and radar, things are quiet for now. No precipitation out there. Skies are mostly clear to partly cloudy. That's what we're going to stay with throughout the overnight. And our temperatures, they're only going to drop down into the teens. So most of us tonight dropping just a few degrees. Wind chill temperatures still going to be in the single digits to around 10 degrees with 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. But then tomorrow, we're going to warm things up pretty quickly throughout the morning. I think by 10 in the morning, we're already going to be in the upper 20s, mid 30s expected for your highs on Tuesday, 38 degrees for your high on Wednesday. Thursday, cold front's going to come through. We'll have rain. Temperatures are going to be in the mid 40s, but then rain showers will transition over to snow showers if there's any leftover precipitation during the evening hours, but we will dry things out going into your weekend ahead. Friday, we're in the 20s, but then 30s and 40s expected over the weekend. Back to you.